at the Joe, 2-1 the final there. We're going to talk some NBA basketball now. And the cool thing about LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn because I've connected with some great people, and it's a pretty legitimate website. Didn't meet Fish there, but that's because I said it's a legitimate site. So Mikey Domagala, this young man that I've got on the line right now on the pregame.com celebrity guest line, Mikey started this Facebook page. This is NBA Buzz back when he was 12 years young. He is 21 today. He is established already through the Facebook and the other avenues of social media. His official NBA Buzz handle has 2.7 million followers, Fish. How inept are we?
Extremely, apparently.
Exactly. We welcome him to the show, SportsX Radio. He's an East Coaster, so he's back there in New York, stays up late. He says, KT, don't worry about it. As long as I get the word out and I get another 2.7 million followers through your show, I'm good to go. Mikey Domagala, great to have you on SportsX Radio, pal.
Ken, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy you reached out to me on LinkedIn. You said it.
No,
LinkedIn
that's the coolest, man. That's the cool. And when you find out, I mean, and you're getting up there in age, and I told you, I said, heck, I'm old enough that I remember watching the Knicks actually win a title. And for, the kids of yesteryear and even, generations gone by, they have no idea.
Won a title?
Yeah, they won a couple of them in a 4-year span there, beating the Lakers, your Lakers, Fish, both times. But it's been a long time coming, and so, all we have are those memories as Knickerbocker fans. It's a team that's in such disarray. It's an absolute joke, but we'll get into the Knicks a little bit. But, Mikey, tell everybody a little bit on how you got this whole thing going. You're literally 12 years young, and you come up with this idea, and you're an NBA fan. You said you love your NBA basketball, you love your Yankees in Major League Baseball, and you love boxing. Those are the three that you migrate to. So tell everybody, Mikey Domagala, a little bit on how NBA Buzz got rolling.
Got to tell you, Ken, you got a great memory from that previous phone call. But to get into it, yeah, man, I was 12 years old, and, I just wanted to start something. I was trying to join other pages at the time, so I said, you know what, I got to start my own. 12 years old, I started all up, start from zero. I think of some unique ways to spread content and put the word out there about, NBA basketball. This is during the 2012 season. So there's a lot of stuff going on that year, and stayed consistent every day since. That's, it's a lot of days. That's about 9 years ago. So consistent posts, getting different people on different platforms, sharing videos that went viral. It just, it's all about staying consistent and working hard. And
there you go.
That's how I started.
No, there's no doubt. And I just know work ethic. Jerry Rice, one of those guys, NFL, always said it's about work ethic. Walter Payton, it's about work ethic. You got to put in the work. You've put in the work. Let everybody know the different avenues that they can follow you, because there's some others out there that may use the buzzword or whatnot as far as NBA, but you are at official NBA Buzz, I know, on Twitter.
You got it. So at official NBA Buzz on Twitter and Instagram. And on Facebook, it's just straight NBA space Buzz. Facebook's my biggest avenue with about 2.5 million of those 2.7 million followers. I'm currently, size-wise, the 18th biggest sports page on Facebook. So that's it's pretty nice to see that. I saw that the other day. I'm reaching about 42 million people a month on Facebook, and, that's only on that platform. On Instagram, I'm doing well. Twitter, I have my own show, Inside Buzz, on YouTube, where I interview a bunch of different celebrities. So, I'm Mikey Domagala behind the scenes on NBA Buzz. Now I'm Mikey Domagala in front, of the camera on Inside Buzz.
There you go. And as Fish was telling me before, he goes, sounds like a good Polish kid from New York, Mikey Domagala.
I am Polish. You're right, man. Polish and Italian.
That's too funny. Okay, so, and my dad was from Brooklyn, and, I grew up in North Jersey. We were talking a little bit before. And I love being from back east. I mean, to me, I love the West Coast because I like going to bed and knowing that all the games are over. You don't have to worry about waking up and finding out how this team did or staying up till all hours of the night, like I've got you up late tonight. But all the NBA games are already over. But a lot of times, the games are still going when you're on the East Coast, especially if you have a pretty hectic schedule like it seems that you do. So a lot of times you got to wake up early in the morning, do your homework, and find out and get your site back going. And do you have anybody that helps you out on your NBA Buzz Facebook page?
Yes, I do have a few guys who have been with me for a long time. A few friends named Chris and Pav. They help me out. They've been on for a while, but the majority of everything you see is me. I'm pretty much a stickler with my work, and I'm a perfectionist. I like things done in certain ways, so I take the majority of the load with everything you see on every NBA Buzz platform. I've been doing it since I'm 12 years old, so it's just a part of my life now, and it's just second nature.
Yes. I was gonna say there's
as you were saying, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ken. Yeah, man, it's become a grind so much that I stay up late until all the games are done, and then that's when my peaks comes at about 12:30 a.m. every night. I get a nice hour of peace, no NBA and games or anything before bed.
There you go. And sometimes you really look forward to something like the NBA All-Star break, because after that's over, you actually have 2 full days off to yourself.
Yeah, man, but this runs 24/7, 365. So yeah, it slows down a little bit, but there's still great content from the All-Star break, and it was a nice little break. Still had school and work, so it wasn't too much of a break.
Ken Thompson, Andrew Fish Fan on a Monday. We're talking with Mikey Domagala, NBA Buzz. Fish, some questions for Mikey.
Yeah, first of all, the fact that you have the amount of followers you have is absolutely amazing and an absolute testament to the good work you do. But one of the things that's important when you're a reporter is to get good sources. How did you start to groom those sources as a 12-year-old kid to where you are now?
You said it, man. I'm a journalist myself trying to break into the field. So I know how good, not even how good, how credibility works in your favor. If you credit the wrong person or you mess that up, people won't trust you. So for that, I really wasn't in contact with too many people when I was 12. More like maybe 14, 15, I really started reaching out to reporters and becoming friendly with them. And, 12, 13, I was still getting the groove with NBA Buzz. Nowadays, I'm in contact with a lot of different reporters who I know kind of personally, over the Internet. But then again, I'm just like every other NBA fan. I'm always constantly refreshing Instagram and Twitter and, always crediting the right sources and making sure and fact-checking that everything is correct.
Is there one story that you've broken or something that you're most proud of in all the time that you've had this site?
I've broken some news, and it's been cool. I've really gotten a lot of good stuff from my show on YouTube, Inside Buzz. Last week I had, actually earlier this week, Nancy Lieberman, the Hall of Fame basketball player, and she actually told me a story about how she was supposed to surprisingly be on the helicopter that Kobe Bryant was on, that crash, and all those people sadly got killed. So she was supposed to be on that. She told me she showed me actually some text she had from the night before, planning the next day and going to train Kobe's daughter and talking about women in the WNBA with Kobe. She gave me a lot of good stuff. So I've been sending that around. I had all my interviews I send around to Bleacher Report, ESPN, and hopefully they get picked up on, and a bunch of outlets have picked up on this Nancy Lieberman interview.
No doubt about it.
Not necessarily just breaking news, but getting unique quotes from people on my show has been spectacular.
Mikey, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay with that story because I went and I watched the condensed version. I know there's two different versions, the entire interview and then one that's condensed down, but still very, very interesting. And I'm going to watch the whole thing. I want to get the elaboration from Nancy because she's just an icon as far as basketball, but she's a great person as well. And she's done so much for charities throughout her life as well, and just one of those people that's always giving back. So let's get into that story a little bit and kind of, and we want naturally all our listeners here, SportsX Radio, and all those that are going to listen to the archive in the morning. There's a lot of people that will podcast it right off sportsxradio.com. They'll grab it with no commercials, and they'll know that, Mikey Domagala is there at the top. But the Inside Buzz on NBA Buzz on the Facebook page, we want to send people there so they can see the entire interview. Now, when they go to NBA Buzz, they can just find it right there. You'll just have it labeled right on the side there or somewhere, a category for them to go on.
So, yeah, I've been promoting it on NBA Buzz Facebook and Instagram. They could scroll and look into the videos and the photos. But it's on YouTube. So YouTube is the hub for all of those videos.
Okay.
So if they just type in Inside Buzz with Mikey Domagala, or even just Nancy Lieberman, Mikey, Nancy Lieberman, Kobe, any of those keywords, they'll be able to find it.
Great stuff. And then Mikey Domagala, by the way, Mikey, and the last name Domagala, Mikey Domagala, and NBA Buzz. But Inside Buzz, and it's a great interview. So let's go back to that, because when I'm watching this, and I'm picturing me being you at 21 years old, listening to this story that you've got on your Facebook show that's got all these millions of followers that you started back when you were 12 years old, and there you have Nancy Lieberman getting emotional and letting you know exactly how close she was to actually being on that helicopter. And she ended up getting a text from her son. And I'll let you take it from there. Elaborate on this interview with Nancy Lieberman. Mikey Domagala, you got the floor.
You got it. So next up, Nancy's at this event she couldn't get out of. She had it planned for a lot of months, and her phone was off during it. And in that time, the helicopter crashed. They all passed away. And, Nancy's son, who plays professional basketball overseas, got the news, of course. So he was trying to get in contact with his mother, and her phone was off because he knew she was supposed to be on that helicopter, whether it was that day or the next day. At some point, she was supposed to be on that helicopter. And, once the news broke, security guards took her. She got very emotional, almost fainted, basically, was what she was saying. She had to sit down. And then, after that, it was just the start of the grieving process for Nancy. She was a close friend of Kobe and has been for a long time. So that's where that story picked up. And to continue on what you were saying, yeah, when she was telling me that, I'm basically 20 years old. I just turned 21 the other day, so I'm still just about 20. It was incredible to get a Hall of Famer, emotional on my show, talking about Kobe and stories about, interactions they had. It was like I wanted to just keep going. It was surreal. Probably my top interview yet. It was awesome all around. Awesome and sad at the same time.
It was, no doubt. And, of course, she was there in Indian Wells, California. But, I mean, how emotional a phone call is that for her son? First off, he's praying that mom picks up the phone. And then when he gets her, he's so happy that he got her. But then he's got to break the news because, like, Mom, you have no idea. You got to sit down. You got to sit down. And then, that's where it got to where he's so happy for his mom. But then he's got to turn around and give her bad news that she had no idea about.
Indescribable. I don't even know how he felt that way. It must have been horrible. God bless that she's alive, but then for her to get the news that Kobe also passed away, her close friend, it's just a horrible scenario all around. Even for us fans, that was a horrible day. One of the worst days of my basketball life since I've been an NBA buzz, even my whole life. Kobe was an idol of mine as well.
And, of course, I have 5 sisters. I've got 4 daughters. And so, I migrate to the lady sports. I remember coaching, back when my daughter Kiara was young and coaching her soccer, and how emotional I got just, to watch the girls excel and do well and come together as a team. And when you are that dad of a daughter that's playing sports, you understand, what? It's not just about the guys' game that we care so much about. It is kind of cool to see the girls play at a nice, solid level and get together, get that team chemistry just like the guys do. And so Nancy Lieberman, Kobe and her texting back and forth to where, Kobe knows that he's dealing with somebody that had NBA, skills herself. And, we remember Annie Myers. You don't, of course, but I do. And Fish is a big UCLA guy, so Annie Myers went there. But there's been several of those women that we've seen play that were like, look, we know these gals are as good as a lot of the guys that say that no matter what, they can beat the girls. And Kobe was like that. Kobe, really saw something in the ladies' game. I think a lot of us men watch from the outside looking in that are in the industry and say, the ladies always seem that they're much more fundamental. They know how to use that little square on the backboard like Tim Duncan.
Yep.
Just they shoot their free throws better. It just seems like, and not all cases, but, we start, comparing the game a little bit. And it is nice to see, that the women also have a very high level of play. And that was something that drove Kobe, because as he got the Mamba organization going, and Gigi really started, taking not just a liking to it, but becoming obsessed with it like he was as he was growing up in Italy and on to Philly and eventually going right out of high school right to the NBA. But there's Gigi, and she's starting to play. You're talking about a girl that has a fall-away jumper when she's 12 years old and, starting to study the film, break it down, looking at every possible angle where she can soak up like a sponge whatever information she could get, and then her dad, who basically thinks I know everything about this game, starts looking at other people like Gino Auriemma, who's been an icon at UConn for so long, and all these different avenues to get involved, which is with as much as he can knowledge-wise on the ladies' side of things, so he can take it and have everything and kind of roll it all together and put his own spin on it.
Got it. You said it perfectly, and that's why this death was so hurt so much for so many people around the globe. Not only Kobe, he was an amazing basketball player, and we all saw him on the big stage winning MVPs, championships, dunking on people, hitting his post fadeaway. He was way more than that, and that's what his post-career was and what it's planned to be. He won the Oscar. And I got to tell you, man, based off what you just said, this popped in my head for the first time. Gigi probably would have went to an insane college, done insane there, would have been all over TV, all over ESPN with their highlights. She would have went to the WNBA. I could see Kobe following her in that. Possibly, if you were alive in the future, coach her in college, coach her in the WNBA. That's how involved, like you said, Kobe was, and I'm sure how he planned to be.
Well, of course, she had a special relationship with Gino Auriemma when Kobe took her to UConn, and that's where she said she wanted to go. She wanted to go play for, if Coach Auriemma was still going to be there. And then he's starting to look and say, well, maybe we'll just put retirement on the shelf for a little bit. But he was very emotional at the memorial out at the Staples Center. He spoke, he said, not as a coach, but he wanted to speak as a father. And I thought he was, very inspirational, what he said about Kobe and about Gigi and about their bond and exactly what it meant for, someone to lose a family. And then he spoke, of course, as an Italian, saying how close he was to his family and that it meant so much. And he just, knew the bond that Kobe and Gigi had was, really created on the court, and her love for what her dad did for his entire life. And so that bond became tighter. Not that Kobe didn't have a bond with the other daughters, but this is the one that really just said, that's what I want to do. And then she brought it to a level that was just absolutely phenomenal for a 13-year-old girl, and had learned all these different things. But UConn was where she wanted to go. And even Ian Eskew, the youngster, the senior actually now at Oregon, that just set the record there for I think the first player to get 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,000 assists in out of anybody. I mean, that's men or women, and she was able to get that done. But she was Oregon, and in fact, she's just like, we got the picture there with, with Gigi and whatnot with the Oregon team. And then she said, hey, we can go, we can do this and that. And she's like, no, I'm good, because she was so into UConn. That's her loyalty there. And it was just kind of cool. But when you watch these, little videos now, boy, it just resonates on how strong the bond was with Kobe and what he wanted to do for his daughter. And, it was definitely special. And to hear Nancy Lieberman talk about how the only reason she wasn't on that helicopter, more or less, was that she could not alter her schedule. She was locked into that appearance, and that she was going to connect in the next day or so while she was out there in California, because she had been in Indian Wells down in the Palm Springs area anyway. And so they were connecting. And, of course, her bond to Gigi as well, because she was such an iconic ladies player for so many years. So tragic story, but I'm sure NBA Buzz and Inside Buzz did a great job covering that whole deal, and you did an outstanding job on the interview with Nancy Lieberman. Folks, you've got to go check this out on Mikey's home Facebook page, and we'll get all that information again before we get out of here. And again, if you miss any part of the interview, go to sportsxradio.com. Archives will be up by midnight Pacific tonight, and we'll have all that, and we'll try and get Mikey an audio copy. Sean will cut that, and we'll get it over to you, Mikey, so you have that for your site as well. Let's talk let's talk a little current NBA real quick. The Bucks finally get beat again tonight, lost to Miami for the second time this year, but 52-9. Is there anybody in your guesstimation in the Eastern Conference good enough in a 7-game series to take out this Milwaukee Buck team?
I don't think so at all. I would say possibly Boston, because Boston's very deep. But the way Milwaukee's been playing with Giannis at the head, it's been incredible. Like you said, yes, they did lose tonight against Miami. But Giannis coming off a 40-point, 20 rebound, 7 assist game, he needs his rest every now and then. And, one loss in a season tonight, like we saw against Miami, that doesn't define their season. They've had an amazing season. I can't see anybody in the East stopping them. My prediction for the finals would be Lakers-Bucks, and I think the Lakers taking it just because of how great LeBron and Anthony Davis have been this season.
Well, that was going to be my next question for you, is because the East is so much weaker this year than the West, like it had been for so many years, and I don't want to say it's fool's gold as far as the Bucks are concerned, because they are a really good team, but are they not as good as their record because they're in a easier conference? So when it comes time to playing the finals, no matter who it is, whether it's the Lakers, the Clippers, or another team out west, that the Bucks are going to be in some sort of trouble?
I don't see much trouble. I see a much better Bucks team than I did last season. Yeah, they lost Malcolm Brogdon, but they gained another year of domination from Giannis. Him maturing, him improving his game. You see him stepping out for three and more mid-range this season. A better Brook Lopez on defense, and just Dante DiVincenzo off the bench, Pat Connaughton, other guys just stepping up this season that you didn't exactly see last season. But you do make a fair point about the Eastern Conference. A majority of their games come against the East and not necessarily the West. But I see Milwaukee steamrolling teams in the in the playoffs this season.
Now, Miami has beaten the Bucks twice this year. Does that mean that if those two face each other in the playoffs, that would be the one team Milwaukee may have a little bit of trouble with?
I would say yeah. I could see that going to about a 5 or 6 game series with Miami. Miami's deep. They got shooters. Like you said, 2-0 against them this season. They obviously game plan for Giannis. Bam Adebayo guard Giannis greatly. But, the playoffs is a different monster. Miami's a young team. They got Kendrick Nunn and who's a shooter? Tyler Herro, I'm thinking of. How will their play translate into the playoffs? I could see those two meeting in the Eastern Conference Finals, just based off the seeding right now and, how it could shape up.
When I look at the Clippers roster and the depth on this team, again, we know Paul George missed a lot of time, but picking up Marcus Morris I thought was key, and then you turn around, you grab Reggie Jackson. We know he's still got game. You've got Shamet and Green and Harrell. You've got Zubac and, of course, Patrick Beverley, one of the best defensive players. And, of course, you've got last year's MVP, Kawhi Leonard. This guy is the real deal. So depth-wise, and I understand the Clippers slipping a little bit in the regular season, but depth-wise, are the Clippers stronger than the Lakers all the way around? Because you're looking at the LeBron card, and I understand, LeBron and AD, that 1-2 combo, but how much better really is that than Kawhi and Paul George? Because I think Kawhi's better. If you gave me a choice of those four to start my team, there's no doubt I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. I respect Anthony Davis and his age, and he would be, right there. But there's no way that I don't start my team with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I disagree with that one, Ken. I'm going LeBron and AD if I gotta start my team. Yeah, but very fair point about how deep the Clippers are. There's no denying that. They're much deeper than the Lakers, who are pretty deep themselves. But, like you said, they're slipping a little bit in the regular season. Yeah, Paul George's been injured, like you said. Kawhi, load management is the new term for him. But look at the Boston Celtics last season. This is what I think about when you talk about the Clippers' depth. The Boston Celtics were so deep. Kyrie Irving, Tatum, Brown, all those guys. Hayward. Are they too deep that in the playoffs they're not going to mesh well because they're so, well-rounded that who's going to carry the load? Are they going to worry about getting the ball to this guy, that guy, just so they could be happy? Or is somebody going to take a back seat? I think if the Clippers run the whole offense through Kawhi and PG, through the whole playoffs, Lou Williams off the bench, Harold doing the dirty work on defense and rebounding, same with Beverly on defense. Oh man, that would be an incredible matchup with the Lakers.
It absolutely would. In our last minute, my question for you, and it's a little off topic of this. You've done such a great job with the NBA buzz. Is there any chance that you have or any thoughts of expanding and doing other sports, doing something with baseball or boxing?
In all honesty, right now, I don't, just because I'm kind of a one-man band right now. And, I have an internship. I'm still in school. Running one page on different platforms is a lot. So starting up other things, I've thought about it, definitely. But it'd be a whole hiring process, getting people to do that. I got to make sure they're trustworthy and, capable. But I definitely thought of it. So let's keep the open door for MLB buzz, NHL buzz, and boxing buzz. All right, how does that sound?
There you go. Now, we will have you on again. We'll work it around your schedule because we know the time difference. Mikey Domagala, let everybody again know how to get to your Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Get it out there here on SportsX Radio.
You got it. So Twitter and Instagram is at official NBA Buzz. Facebook with the over 2 million followers is just straight up NBA Buzz in the search bar. You'll be able to find me. You'll see the NBA Buzz logo. And Inside Buzz on YouTube. And, all the clips are there, and you can find all graphics on all the NBA Buzz platforms about all of my interviews that I do through Inside Buzz.
Well, we're fortunate that we got a hold of you, and I'm glad that we connected. Mikey, we'll do it again soon. We'll work it out. But great content, great insight, and young man with a bright future. Appreciate you stopping by.
It's a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. I'll say it again. LinkedIn is a great thing.
No doubt about
Thanks
it. God
again,
bless you,
man.
my brother. We'll talk to you soon, Mikey.
Yep.
Great stuff there. Hour number 1 in the books. Ken Thompson, Fish Fane, live, Legacy Stadium inside the beautiful Venetian Palazzo on the new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDWN. Ken Thompson, Fish Fane, Sean McCullum back at studio. Thanks to Mikey Domagala. We'll be right back. Hour number 2 on deck.